So where we left off, we just created the purchase order off the back of my order planning line. So to pick up on that, I'm going to go into purchasing, purchase orders, and go to the Graphic Design Institute. As I say, majority of the work's been done for us. Obviously, we've got the default supplier entered in there for us for this particular item. We've got the quantity and the associated cost. Okay. Worth noting as well that for this particular supplier, we work with them in euros, so it's taken off the VAT. Okay. Moving a bit further down, we can just double check our payment terms to them and all that sort of stuff as well. It's also here that we can then start dictating if we do want the item to go into a specific location where that goes. So we can enter that in the order line. I'm not going to do that just so that it goes into our default location here. Okay. Now, to bring the goods into stock, what I need to do is I need to click on Post. And what we generally do is receive an invoice. But there are a couple of other mechanisms. So I'm just going to come out of this posting to show you the way that this works. So we've got three options, receive invoice, or receive an invoice. Okay. Now we tend to split out the receiving function and the invoicing function if we are using some sort of warehouse put away function. So if you've got guys in the warehouse that are receiving the goods in and then marking them as received, then you likely use a process in the system called create inventory put away. It's caught me out. I need to release this order to say nobody else touch it before we do that. So we can then go into process and create a put away instruction. Okay, now this is using some more of the advanced capability in the system. Not everybody uses this. It depends whether you want the guys in the warehouse to use the system to mark whether goods have been received in. It's just a case of creating that put away instruction. The guys in the warehouse will then go to an area of the system, either something like a pick worksheet or inventory picks, depending on which elements of the system that you're using, and then they can go in and mark once something's been received. It's then up to us to then go in, process and invoice to make sure that that's tied up and completed there from our side. But if you are wanting to keep things simple, then there's the option to say, right, well, you can just print this order, send it through to the warehouse or to whatever machines in the warehouse, so people can have a look and obviously manually track that process as opposed to using some of the automation in Business Central. So it depends how much automation you need and how many users you need on the system, but there are two facilities there. Worth noting as well that with locations you can set some quite strict parameters. So if, for example, you only want something to be put away into a location and then you want it to be shipped from a different location, then that's all done within location setup. And if you want more details on that, we can go through that if we need to. But for the time being, I'm not going to create anything complex like a put away instruction. I'm going to imagine that we're just receiving and invoicing at the same time. To do so, I need to fill in the starred field, which is the vendor invoice number. So let's just put in the number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that should do, and then go into posting and post. So receive an invoice, click OK, and then that will bring it into stock, and it will also generate the relevant purchase invoice for us. Okay, we don't need to see the purchase invoice. All it's going to do is count down according to our payment terms, but we can see now that that purchase order has dropped out of our list. If we were to go into our vendor or supplier card, we'll be able to now see that as a posted order, and when we go back into inventory, we'll go into our London share and just double check that the quantity is updated. There we go. Okay, so we've now got 7, which is enough to make up our sales order. To order Dynamics 365 licenses or to sign up to a 30-day free trial, navigate to d365.link/now.